I'm going to show you 5 baking soda recipes, mixes, practical ways that you can use it in the garden. First one is for powdery mildew, black spot, rust, fungal diseases. You're going to spray the leaves, both sides of the leaves. And what this does, the baking soda number 1, it is mildly alkaline. So it raises the pH on the leaf surface. And many fungal spores do not like that. Also, it's going to act as a very mild desiccant drying agent, especially for some of the soft-bodied pests like earwigs or even slugs and snails. And then it has slight fungicidal action as well. But I find that when you mix it with a surfactant, like a soap or an oil, it helps it stick to the surfaces better. So this recipe is 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 gallon of water, a few drops of liquid dish soap, or a couple teaspoons of horticultural oil. Spray the foliage, both upper and undersides of the leaves, and then once or twice per week during the risk period of disease. And I would avoid spraying it in hot sun, which can burn the leaves. The second one is just a general pest deterrent, but specifically for slugs and snails and ants. You can either make a ring or just dust it around the base of the plants. The idea being that it's mildly alkaline, so it's going to deter slugs and snails. For the ants, it'll disrupt their trails. You can also mix it with sugar, which will attract them, and then they'll take the baking soda back to their nest and it'll kill them. But either way, just refresh it after rain because it will wash away. Number 3 is using it as a natural pesticide spray. And the amounts are going to vary depending on the severity of the infestation. So start at the low end of 1 to 5 tablespoons per gallon of water. Add a little bit of liquid soap or insecticidal soap or horticultural oil to help it stick. And then use it as a spot spray where you see the pests or the fungal issues. Again, always spray the underside of the leaves too. And then reapply after rain or heavy dew. Number 4 is for killing weeds and moss. So there's 2 ways you can do it. As a spray, you're going to want about 1.5 cups in a gallon of water with a squirt of dish soap. Or you can just sprinkle it directly on small weeds and moss patches. But either way, you're going to want to apply it on the weeds, especially if they're in cracks or other unwanted areas. Just be careful not to get it on the plants that you want. And this will work until it rains. The powder may just wash away. So you may need to repeat the treatment. And as a side note, this will affect the soil pH. So if you're going to use it a lot, use it sparingly. Number 5 is as a plant food, a homemade fertilizer boost. Now I found this recipe online. It's from one source. 1 1/2 tablespoons of Epsom salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, half a teaspoon of plain household ammonia in 1 gallon of water. This is really good for container plants, patio plants, things like that. Just water as normal with this solution. But I would avoid using the ammonia solutions where the roots or the soil microbes could be overly disturbed. So not a lot of aeration or tilling after you apply this. Use it once in a while, but don't overdo it because you can get a buildup of salts. Last but not least is just to know the precautions and the tips. So it is alkaline. It's going to raise the pH, so be aware of that. If you have azaleas, blueberries, rhododendrons, things that prefer acidic soil, they might not like it. And then the second thing is the sodium. You can get a buildup of sodium in the soil, which can reduce water uptake in plants and harm the roots. So use it sparingly. But here's the thing. You test it out on one plant or one area first. Try a weaker mix than what I've recommended here. Observe for a week or so to see if there's any damage before you go and do a widespread application. And then finally, the time of day. I recommend early morning or late afternoon. Avoid doing it in hot sun, which can lead to leaf burn. And then after rain, most of these sprays are going to need reapplication because the baking soda will just wash off. If you enjoyed this information, please give this video a like and consider sharing it.